What's up, baby? This is Deontay the Bronze from Wilder. Make sure you tap into Black Authentic Truth for your latest news. It's great information, baby. Bomb Squad!
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of history. You know, every month they do Black History. They got Juneteenth. But there's nothing like Black Authentic Truth than what you get in ICBK. You want to make sure you subscribe to Black Authentic Truth. The reason why is because we actually give you the truth that correlates with historical information and it incorporates with the Bible as well. You want to know why they don't have an answer for our condition in slavery? Because they don't bring the Bible. Black Authentic Truth marries Black history with the Bible, gives you the correct information. Make sure you subscribe to Black Authentic Truth for the proper information. Shalom.
Street Nasheed right here in Los Angeles, making it do what it do, man. Y'all check out Black Authentic Truth. Get some real good games on YouTube. Black Authentic Truth, man. Check it out, man. Real good information.
Man, you know what's going on. It's your boy Geechee Gotti. I'm rocking with Black Authentic Truth. You want to learn something? Tune in, man. Get your knowledge up. Get your history up, man. Know about something, man. You know what time it is, man. Geechee Gotti, Black Authentic Truth, man. Like and subscribe.
Black man, I have an obligation to my race of people, not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people.
And you have always hated us. We have loved you consistently for 400 years. We prayed to that white Jesus, and we saluted your flag, and we died in your militaries, and you beat us like dogs.
This is Black Authentic Truth. Hey, what's good with y'all? What's good with y'all, man? Thawahgabar in the house for Black Authentic Truth. Like we always do, we ask, how is everyone's Sunday going? Out here in Southern California, it's a nice day. It's a little chilly. Yesterday, it was a storm came through, so it dropped a lot of rain. So, you know, like after the rain, it'd be like a cool breeze, chilly. But I think temperatures are going to warm up in the following weeks, but that's how it is out here. Nice day, a little chill in the air. And I know for East Coast people, Midwest people, this would be a very nice day because I know right now it's cold where y'all at. At least I believe so, but I know y'all have them real winters. And yeah, so that's how it is on my side. But how is it on your side? That's what I'm asking, man. Got a little lineup to go. It was good with you, Renee. I seen that you had commented as soon as I went live, always rocking with me. That's my sis, always rocking with me. You know, appreciate it. Appreciate the love. All right. Yesterday, my brother Captain Quam, he had a listening party. We had a listening party right here. That was nice. A lot of fun. You know, a lot of excitement. The album is dope. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool last night. Didn't lay down until like after 3 a.m. So that's why I had to recuperate. That's why I'm going so late now. Going live so late because I had to recuperate. Let me just y'all give me a second. Let me just share this real quick. Like this won't be a long live, but of course we're going to get it in. Going to talk about Southern poverty law, among other things. Renee said it's 74 degrees out here and I just got off work tired today. I heard that. 74 degrees is a nice day. That's nice weather right there. That's perfect weather. Let me just see. I want to make sure everything is working fine. I got to always do this, y'all. I don't know why, but oh man, I done clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. All right, yeah, we're perfect. We're perfect. This is perfect. And let me see. Let me share this. I'm sharing this real quick. Yeah, You know, now that I'm live, I'm thinking again. Once I just mentioned Renee, I just mentioned you always rock with me. Black Rain 303. I ain't seen Black Rain 303 up in here in months. So I hope all is well out there in Phoenix, Arizona with you, Black Rain 303. Was one of my main supporters, always in the lives, always supporting. And I just haven't seen Black Rain 303 in the live. So let me see. I'm just sharing this real quick, and then I'm gonna get right into it. Excuse me. This is not what I wanted to do. Okay. Discard this one. Let me just. We are live now. All right. Okay, that's done. You know, yesterday we were at, I was at camp. I was in Hollywood yesterday, and I had two sisters. Let me see if I can get the picture. Let me see if I have the picture on this laptop. Well, I know I can go because I posted it on Facebook. I'm about to see. There's a few little small topics I'm gonna touch on. This will be one of them, and then I'm gonna touch on what is it, Megan Thee Stallion situation and some other things. I'm gonna see if I can find this picture. Okay, go to my page. All right, let me save this to the computer, and then I'm going to screen share it. First, I got to open it up before I screen share it, right? Excuse me. Okay. Hey, shout out to everybody that's rocking with me, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You know I'm gonna bring out something heavy. I always do. I always bring something out heavy. Just sit tight and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna break some stuff down. Let me share this screen. Window. Okay, this is the one right here. So I can't see myself. Oh, I gotta drop this. Drop this. Did I drop the wrong thing? No, I didn't. Add to the stage. Okay, right here. Now, these were this is excuse me. This is two sisters that walked up yesterday when we was in Hollywood, and basically was just expressing how they rock with what we say. And they were from Watts, Nicholson Garden. And we talked about a lot of different topics. One of the topics we talked about is that in Los Angeles, most of the LAPD is Hispanic. Okay. So they wanted to make that point because they seen black men with Hispanic men out there. And what I told them is that it really doesn't matter who it is. So it could be Hispanic, it can be black, it can be Asian. Whenever you put on that uniform, you take on the culture of LAPD, or you take on the culture of NYPD, or et cetera, et cetera. You take on the culture of that law enforcement agency. And we know the culture of law enforcement has always been to oppress black Hispanic and Native Indian people. It has always been the culture of law enforcement. It goes all the way back down to the patty rollers, the slave catchers. So that is the culture in law enforcement. And I gave them an example. Y'all remember what happened to Philandro Castile? This was the brother. I can't remember the state he was in. And it's a very, very sad story. You know, the video, you know, I can't watch the video because it will make me cry. But Philandro Castile was pulled over, and it was an Asian officer. And he said, I have a gun, but I have the gun license. And when he went to get the gun license, the Asian officer shot him. He had his daughter and his wife in the car. And the daughter, the wife is crying. And the daughter tells her, Mommy, don't cry. You know, I just tear up even talking about it because things like that should not happen. But the point why I'm bringing that out, what I brought out to them is that was an Asian officer. Laughingly, the sister said, why even an Asian can't protect nobody? Why are they even officers? But that's a whole nother topic, right? But my point was to them is that it doesn't matter who puts on the uniform. It doesn't matter who wears the law enforcement uniform. In fact, this has been a long-standing thing in the Black community where we say, Black officers be doing too much. They try to go extra on you in front of their white coworkers. They'll go even harder on you. A Black cop, he'll go harder. You think you finna get some love from a Black cop, and he hates you. It seems like he hates you the same as the white cop. So it goes back to my original point, in which these sisters agreed with, is that it doesn't matter who it is. When they put on that uniform, they put on the culture of white supremacy. They put on the culture of law enforcement, which has always been to hurt and oppress poor people, people who are in poverty. You don't see LAPD driving around Beverly Hills or any good place. The police in general, they're not swarming like sharks in the nice, now I'm going to say nice, okay, but in the white neighborhoods predominantly, they're in the Black and brown neighborhoods, right? Secondly, what these sisters were bringing up was that, why are white people like the way they are? Why do they hate us so much? Why is they always like in our business? You know what I mean? And I said, they just can't help themselves. According to the Bible, we are who we are and they are who they are. And can't nothing change that. Can't no law, can't no policies, can't no committees. Nothing can change who they are. Okay. And that's the reason why they are the way they are towards us. All right. So I wanted to bring that out. But something else about this is that I want you to really think about this. Really think about what I'm about to say. When you think about the fact that you have Black and brown people, or I use Black people, right? Black people that was oppressed and subjugated under the hand of white people. After slavery, you had Jim Crow, you had horrible lynchings, you had that, so many race riots. They call them race riots, all right? That's what officially, but really they were massacres where they, burnt down Black towns and, just massacred people, And you look at this history and you say, well, damn, these people, if you're being objective, you look at these people and you say, these people won. These people conquered and won and, destroyed these people. They won. They are the winners. They are the conquerors. They're the conquerors. They are the winners. You would say that to yourself, right? and I want you to think about this. But you have a people that are minding their business. And here you have these descendants of these same said people that have won, that can't just live a normal life and mind their business. they have to focus and zero in on what Black people are doing. They have to focus and zero in. You would think, let's put it in a smaller form. You would think if, listen, I'll use me for example. If I was a person that was a terrible person and I robbed another person, I robbed this man, took his all of his wealth, and I took his life. Then later on, I see his children growing up, and because I took him out of this world, his children, they struggle, they're having issues. The wife, she doesn't have a man now, so she's struggling and she's trying to make ends meet, and they're just going through so many terrible things. And then I look at them and say, well, it's because they're not trying hard enough. It's because they have a low IQ that they're having these problems. It's because they're lazy, because that's why they're having this problem. It's because they're chimping out. It's because they're just natural born criminals. I done got away with murder. I done got away with all this. And instead of saying, you know what, let me count my losses, I know retribution is real. I know reaping what you sow is real. Let me just enjoy what I have stolen and taken and live my life. You would think that a person like that, knowing what they have done, would just live their life, right? Instead of focusing on what the person and trying to make themselves feel superior. That is really what you see when you see with white people. It's like, you won, okay? You've colonized, you lied and stole and killed everybody to get to the position you're at. But that is just not enough. You are a sore winner. You're a sore winner. You can't just live your life and focus on what you got going on. You have to look at Black and brown people and point out their faults and point out everything about them. And I explained that to them, sisters. Like, they are sore winners. You know the term sore loser. They're sore winners. They can't just go about their business and stick to their own. And it is a biblical reason why. It's a biblical reason why people can argue up and down and make all the podcasts and all the talking points of why this happens. But really, it is just the way the Lord created these people. That's it, and that's all. And if you don't believe in the scriptures and all that, hey, that's on you. But it is a very clear and concise breakdown of why this happens and why it seems like they just can't focus on what they got going on and focus on, school shootings and all of this negativity they got on. They would rather focus on the negativity that happens within the Black and brown communities in order to prop themselves up in a superior, condescending way. All right. But now there's something else. What else I want to talk? Oh, Megan Thee Stallion. Let me talk about that. Now, this is something that you don't have to be into, like, per se. I'm not really into what celebrities got going on in their relationships. I could really care less about that. But of course, if you're on social media, you can't escape all of the vlogs, all of the pages and stuff that are posting this stuff. You can't escape it. And so Megan Thee Stallion posted about Klay Thompson. I guess they broke up. Many people don't know who Klay Thompson is. He's one of the Splash Brothers. He used to be on the Golden State Warriors. He's on the Dallas Mavericks right now, but he was on the Golden State Warriors for many years. They got, I think, him and Steph Curry got like 4 championships together, along with Draymond Green. Okay, so he is somebody, as far as in the sports world, that will, arguably go down as a Hall of Famer. Okay, and so she gets with him, and she broke up with him, and then she goes to social media and posts everything. This is a similarity I see with a lot of Black women, is where you take your relationship, good or bad, and you post it online. Okay, nobody actually cares about what is going on in your relationship, but if you're going to post all the negativity and all the business of your relationship online, then now people have something to talk about. And to be honest, people don't care about it, but it's entertainment for people, right? It's entertainment. I think like in the scriptures, it talks about how gossip and hearing like stuff like that, it's almost like a tasty, like a candy. It's like a candy, like candy can be real. Candy is tasty. That's how a lot of gossip is for people when they eat it. I'm talking in a metaphoric way, but they eat gossip. They love it. Like it's always an appetite for what is going on in somebody else's life that you would never know. This is the key. You would never know if they didn't post it. Funny thing is, on my timeline, I seen other stuff that's similar to that where, you had women talking about their own personal relationship online. I mean, online done really messed up a lot of people being online. Like, you don't have to put everything online that is going on in your personal life. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, people, we post pictures, we post things, but this should be like a balance of, what is postable and what is not. And I don't think that Black people really get that. I really understand that, particularly women. You don't really get that. I don't really see two men like posting about their personal relationship and their personal life like that when they're going through something. I don't know. Maybe y'all have seen stuff like that, but I haven't really seen that. I've seen a lot of sisters do that, and that goes back to the emotionalism and stuff like that. And thinking that people really care. People don't really care. You're just content right at this point. You're just entertainment. You're a repost so they can get views. So they can get views, and so that they can grow their page or channel or whatever the case may be. It's all you are is just content. But this world loves, especially the social media world and the Black community, loves negativity, gossip, hearsay, she say. They love it and they eat it up. It's like a tasty treat that you eat. Like you said, what happened? What happened with Clarissa Shields? What happened with Megan Thee Stallion? What happened with it? And so you don't have to. My point is, you don't have to put everything that's going on with you online. That's the point. That's the point of me bringing up this situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Now, as far as why and what and why it didn't last and all of that, there's many reasons. But in the truth, we know, like, this is something that we've been talking about very recently is monogamy is not perfect. You see all of this stuff happening in monogamous relationships because, people put polygamy on trial. Polygamy is put on trial, but monogamy is not. And you have all of these men that they follow the guidelines of monogamy, but really they want to have more than one woman. But since they're not able to tell a woman and tell her the truth up front, they're going to have many women. And when you're looking at celebrities, right? Celebrities, you can't compare your life to a celebrity that has a lot of money. Like, I would never try to compare myself to a celebrity. That is ridiculous. First of all, I don't live my life in the world, so that would never happen. But I know a lot of Black people, Black men, Black women, compare their lives to the celebrities that they follow. And so you're talking about people that have a lot of money, right? Money you don't have, and they have access to a lot of other things that you don't have access to. And so a man with a lot of money, he has access to all kind of women. I'm not saying men can't have any woman they want. I mean, a nigga from the ghetto, a regular Black man could have a woman. And you don't even have to have a car. You don't have to have an apartment. You don't have nothing. You can get you a woman. Okay? So imagine a man with a lot of money. And he's in places where you see all of these celebrity type women. He can have whatever woman he wants. You know what I'm saying? And so think about how we do in the Black community, how we casually be with different people. That same thing happens in that world too. That happens in that world too. You know what I'm saying? And Renee said, I'm mad he spent $3 million on a 304. Good night. I mean, that happens. But he has the money to do that. He has the means to do that, right? And we don't know the inner workings of that relationship. We don't know his mindset. We don't know how her mindset. But we do know, I do know this. I know the type of woman that she was and how many men she was with before Klay Thompson. And I do know what Klay Thompson was doing. He done been with multiple women too. So that's a whole nother world. Don't ever try to compare your life to what these people got going on. But it just shows you that money don't mean anything. These people are doing the same, making the same foolish decisions that somebody that don't got no money is making, which in turn creates a broken home. Now, think about this, because I just talked about this, and let me remember, what was it? Oh, I posted a video where I was in class and I broke down the sister. It was a sister on the street in a street interview where she said she would give it up on the first date, and she ain't got time to be waiting. And I said, that is how broken homes are created. Now, imagine in this situation, had Megan Thee Stallion got pregnant by Klay Thompson, and now the breakup. What would have been created? A broken home, right? So our issue really is not money. Our issues are morals. That's our issue in the Black community. It's morals. We don't have no effing morals. And that's the Black authentic truth. We don't have any morals. In the minute we say you need to have morals, you need to stop sleeping with women and then discarding them, throwing them away. You need to stop, as a woman, sleeping with different men. Stop being a 304. Be with one man. The minute that is said, we get angry and we say, nah, I ain't doing that. Why are you concerned about how I'm living? That's that. Why you care about me? That's weird that you care about me. Oh, but y'all complain about Chirac. You complain about all of the negativity in the problems in the Black community. You don't see how they start? You don't realize how they start. They start from broken homes and broken families. They start from broken unions. They start from a father not being in the household. They start from a woman messing with two different men. That's how they start. But you don't want to hear that. You want to do what you want to do. Keep doing what you want to do and keep getting the same results that we've been getting for the last 40 years. All right. Now, I don't want to. I think I felt like I was really talking a lot, man. Y'all need to stop me when I'm be doing too damn much. Be talking too much. All right. So, where I want to go. Oh, the influencer. Let me get this. Let's get this video right here. So I'm gonna give you a backdrop. Some of y'all already probably heard me talk about this in class. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just touch on it real quick about the influencer. She was a tarot card reader. She was claiming that a man killed some people that he didn't kill based on a tarot card reading. This is that spiritualism that people be falling into, that trap, thinking that you have a form of godliness because you're reading tarot cards. Or I remember back in the day when I was growing up, they had what's her name? Miss Cleo. It was she was a tarot card, like she was a psychic, like it was a hotline, right? Miss Cleo. Well, I wonder what happened to Miss Cleo. Anybody remember that? Miss Cleo psychic hotline? Where you had, I think, if I can remember correctly, she had like a crystal ball right there on the table, talking about call in, come call in and find out what your future is. Many Black people believe in stuff like this. And many Black people fall into you can't go anywhere, or you can't talk to damn near anyone when you get to know a woman without her asking you, what's your sign? A zodiac sign. When I was growing up, they had, I used to read the newspaper a lot. and you had the horoscopes, right? And now this stuff has been scientifically disproven. Horoscopes, zodiac signs. But you have a lot of people that, especially in the Black community, that wholeheartedly adhere and believe in this stuff. It's insane. You got people that wholeheartedly believe in a horoscope, a zodiac sign, but they will never believe the Bible. They will never believe something that, something outside of that was given to us, but it can clearly be disproven. You have people that have broken relationships off, are not even giving themselves a chance to get to know someone based on learning what that person's zodiac sign is. You have people, and this really falls in the realm of women, because although I do know men believe in this, it's not as deep as it is with women from what I've seen. Y'all let me know if it's as deep as that. Damn, wait, hold on. Let me say, Renee said Miss Cleo died in 2016 from colon cancer. That's what Google says. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think Miss Cleo was able to predict that with her psychic crystal ball? Right? That what I'm saying goes into this story that I'm going to play. Do you think Miss Cleo, who died from colon cancer, was she able to read that in her crystal ball 10 years prior to that? I really doubt it. No disrespect to her family and everything, but it's not about her. It's about the things that we try to practice and be into. Now there's something, wait, what was I going to say before that? Before I read Renee's comment, I was saying, do you think, damn, see, this is what comes with age. I don't think so, because I'm always been forgetful. I've been forgetful. It was a time when I used to smoke weed when I was younger, and people used to say, you forget, if you smoke weed, you'll forget stuff like right away, or you might put something that's supposed to go in the refrigerator in the cabinet. Well, I was doing that stuff before I ever smoked weed, and I'm still doing it after. When you got a lot of business and you're busy and you got a lot of stuff on your mind and you're doing this and you're multitasking, stuff like that happen anyway. But I was going to bring out something about the horoscopes. Man, I hope it comes back to me. I would, because I was on a roll. What is it? Y'all just bear with me. Let the wall think. All right. Let me think real quick. Ding, ding. I wish I had that music. Let me just think. Let me remember what I was going to say about horoscopes. It'll come back to me. But horoscopes, right? Horoscopes, they've been scientifically proven to not be real and accurate by people who are in astrology and astronomy and astrology. But in the Black community, we hold on to that thing. And so, we will not give people a chance. Oh, that's the thing. When you come to, because of the horoscopes also, what people will do is use that to basically say, or how can I say, what's the word? What's the word people would, what's the word I want to say? So people will use the horoscopes to dismiss their bad behavior. So, for an example, if you're with a woman and she's argumentative, she's kind of violent, and she's this and she's that, when y'all talking, you'll say blah blah blah, and she'll say, well, I'm this sign, I'm an Aries, so so they basically use that to dismiss their bad behavior. So you have people that believe it so much that their love interest, they won't give a person a chance because they're like, oh no, our signs don't go together. Secondly, you have people that will dismiss their bad behavior because of the sign they are, right? None of that has anything to do with you actually being a person that is a good mate for another person, or a good person in general, or a violent person. That has to do with your self-control and how you were raised. That don't have nothing to do with a sign, okay? And that has been proven. So let me play this video, all right? I'm just talking. Where we at? Let me remove this first. Oh, I'm sharing the screen. I'm not playing a video. I'm sharing the screen. So and she's a TikTok influencer. I didn't know that. I know she was on social media. I didn't know what specific platform. I thought, you know, usually it's people with on all platforms.
A TikTok influencer has been ordered to pay $10 million in damages after she wrongly accused a University of Idaho professor of being involved in the murders of 4 students. A federal jury ruled Friday that Ashley Gillard made false statements accusing Rebecca Schofield of orchestrating the killings and having an inappropriate relationship with the student. Gillard used TikTok tarot card readings to spread those claims, which drew millions of views online. The jury awarded $6.5.
You hear that? That's the key. She used TikTok tarot card readings to make the claims that she's accusing somebody of murder. TikTok tarot card readings. Okay, let me rewind that so y'all can hear.
Online. The jury awarded a relationship with the student. Gillard used TikTok tarot card readings to spread those claims, which drew millions of views online. The jury awarded $6.5 million for the murder allegations and $3.5 million for the relationship claims. Gillard represented herself throughout the trial.
And she represented herself.
Ruled Friday that.
And she represented herself throughout the trial. That's probably why she was hit with such a high amount in damages, $10 million that, you know, she don't got, I don't got, we don't got, don't nobody got in the Black community for a lawsuit for you alleging somebody murdered somebody based on tarot card reading. This stuff is not real, y'all. It's not real. And this sister done learned a hard, terrible price. You know what I mean? Then listen, them tarot cards couldn't tell her that. She was going to go down the rabbit hole and get hit with $10 million in damages. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But that just goes to show you that this all that tarot card reading, psychic, this, zodiac, don't fall into the rabbit hole thinking that you're going to learn something like that. You're going to get the one up on, you know, your relationship status, and you don't get the one up on, you know, playing the lottery and, you know, who gonna win the NBA finals. That's not gonna happen. That stuff is just to take your money. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me drop this. I'm gonna drop it, y'all. And we gon' yeah, man. Give me a second. Let me get this. $10 million is a lot, though. That is a lot. So I don't know if y'all seen this video with this brother. He's in he's inside of a restaurant. I guess he's being recorded by the person he's arguing with. It's a what's the word I want to use? It's a transmission person. Okay. And he's going back and forth, and he has a son with him, and he's basically told his son that you know that's wrong to be like a transmission person. And so this went viral. And yeah, I'm gonna play the video. Let me play the video. Let's get to it.
You would act like that in public. Okay. Damn, that's ignorant. See, that's intelligent, and that you're not ignorant.
The difference between a real woman and
a real woman?
Yeah. That's all I said. I just wanted him to see you recorded me.
No, you don't understand. No, you're ignorant. Yeah, you're ignorant as fuck. Yeah, I'll call the cops on you.
That man up here with a little boy just like a girl, man. That shit's sad. So what? I said he up here with a little boy just like a female. Why are you talking to me? I don't want to talk to you.
Because you're aggressive.
I'm waiting on my food and I'm not. But you directed it to me. You ain't a little child.
They're trying to break it up. Do you not understand?
He's talking about him dealing with like whoever, but you in front of your kid.
Exactly.
I'm telling my son the difference between a woman and a child.
You say, don't act like me. There's something wrong with me.
I teach my son.
Like, you coming into my job causing issues.
I teach my son. I don't be a man, bro. To not act
But
like
thank
that.
you.
It don't matter. Like you not like.
I understand with my daughter trying to have a fucking meal, man.
So this is a video that went viral, and this brother with his son is trying to teach his son not to be like a transmission. He's looking at a man. He's looking at a man that is dressed like a woman with their child. And I believe the child is also dressed like the opposite gender. And he's saying, basically what he's saying out loud to the point where this transmission person actually hears it and starts recording him. And he's saying, I'm teaching my son how to be a man. He's going back and forth. You don't have no ass. It's crazy, right? Many people it was a divide as far as the reaction. Many people agree with this. And many people don't agree with this. Now, me as a person, as a man, as a father, I agree with it and I don't agree with it. And I'm going to explain why. Now, when it comes to teaching your son or your daughter in a righteous way about what is going on in this world, it's a way to do that, especially in a public space. Now, he is sitting there, he's seeing this, and obviously he's saying it so loud to his son that this transmission person hears it and starts to record him. And they start to record him. That's what we see now. But I feel like I put myself in that situation. I would say, if my son is looking and he's wondering and he's confused, maybe you can be discreet in a way that you communicate that to your son. Not say it out loud. Yeah, that, son, that, a man ain't supposed to be dressing like a woman, son. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. Maybe you shouldn't be like that. I believe that's not, maybe you shouldn't. It's a way you can communicate that to your child without getting the attention of the person you're talking about in a public setting. Now, on the flip side also, it is nothing wrong with that. I applaud the father. I applaud the father for his views. It's just, it's a way of going about it. Now, what I read is that after this, and it went viral, he was fired from his job. I can't remember the job. I wish I could, because I did read it somewhere. He was fired from his job after this went viral, which goes back to my first point, is that you don't have to say anything. You could be discreet, or you could have just waited till y'all got out the store and was like, yeah, son, that right there, that is not what you will ever be. That, you are a man. God made you this way and X, Y, Z after the fact, right? So you just got to use a little bit of wisdom and patience in a situation like that. You can't just say certain things. We live in this world that is a satanic world. We live in this world that pushes exactly what he was trying to teach his son about. They push it in movies. They push it in brochures. They push it in social media. They push it on you. So you have to be wise of we live in Babylon. We live in Babylon. You have freedom of speech. You can say what you want. but you don't have the freedom of the consequences. Now, when I'm out on the street and I'm telling people the white man is the goddamn devil, I understand the consequence. I don't, the consequences don't matter because I'm telling the truth and I'm serving the Lord. Like, but in this situation, it's like you have to use wisdom with these people. I wouldn't say nothing like that. If I was in his position, I would not say that. If my son asked me, I'll be like, hold your peace, son. Wait till we get out the store. And then I'll just lace my son. This is what XYZ. This is when this started, son. This is when this happened. In 1970, they considered LGBTQ a mental illness, son. I would go there. I wouldn't say it out loud like that. And even on my platform, I don't care. What I just said in 1970, you had a room of 5,000 people at the Psychiatric Convention Center that voted on whether or not to take, homosexuality off of the list of mental illnesses. You can go and research this yourself. It's the truth. It's history. It's documented facts. And they voted to take it off of the list of mental illnesses. And so now it's accepted. And now it didn't, creeped into the psyche of the Black community, where now the Black community is very flamboyant with this lifestyle too now, when at one point in time they were not. Okay. Anyway, let me just stay on point. He shouldn't have said it like that. And let me just look at anybody say, okay, just people agreeing with me. He shouldn't have said it in that way. He shouldn't have said it out loud. I applaud him for his stance and want to teach his son that he's a man, but he should have just waited or he could have said it in a lower tone or even whispered it in the ear of his son. Let his son just stare at him. But to say it out loud and get the attention, I mean, brother, what is you thinking? Any person, what are you thinking? You're looking for issues, you're looking for problems. I don't go in public, I don't go to my place of work and say the things that I say out on the street corners are the things that I know is true, because I got to be professional at work. And I'm representing not only myself, I'm representing an organization, I'm representing the Most High wherever I go. So I want to be professional. My aim is to be professional. If you was to look at my videos in the ISUPK, and some of y'all follow me on Black Authentic Truth, but you don't know about the truth, right? But if you was to look at my videos, you'd be like, damn, this brother is going in and he's saying things that are very inflammatory out in the public. And I always say, if my coworkers, places of work and business, if they was to see me, they'd be like, damn, I didn't know he was like that. But you know what else they would say? They would say, damn, I hear him saying what he's saying right there. But I don't know that person. The person that comes and clocks in to work, he's courteous, he's professional, he's kind. So I know I see what he's saying here, but my experience with him is I don't got no problems with him. That's how it would go, because that's what it is. So the point is, you got to know situations you're in, and understand I have to be wise at what I say and what I articulate and how I behave. Many of our people don't understand that. What that brother feels and what he's trying to teach his son is a righteous thing. Many of y'all don't know that's righteous. It's a righteous thing. He just in that moment, he did not know how to express it to his son, or how better or how not to express it to his son, and just wait. It would have been so easy to just wait, get their order. I don't know what store they're in. Get that order, go outside and say, yeah, son, this is XYZ. Don't ever be like that. That was not a real woman. Don't ever be, you know what I'm saying? That's how that was supposed to go. But because he did not know that, he didn't have that, that level of knowledge and understanding on how to go about a situation like that, he winded up losing his job because this video went viral. Okay, I hope that helps somebody. I'm gonna move on. Let's get okay. This one is deep. Okay, this is one is deep, and this is something. Let me drop this video. This is something that a lot of people never really thought about, but I want you to look at this. Let me just start it over. So I'm going to, if just in case you don't catch it, what is happening in this video is you have a black man and a white man that are doing an experiment in public. Excuse me. So the white man is slapping a picture of a monkey on the back of the black man in front of a lot of people to see a lot of white people to see who reacts to it. So I'm gonna play the video.
So what you trying to do to me? It's like we can't stop, we're enemies. But we get along and I'm inside of you. You're like a drug that's killing me. I cut you out entirely. But I get so high when I'm inside of you. Yeah, you can start over, you can run free. You can find other fish in the sea. You can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. I can still hear you making that sound, taking me down, rolling on the ground. You can pretend that it was me, but no. Oh, baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals, like animals most. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell your scent for miles. Just like animals, animals, like animals most. Baby, I'm
Now, what transpired in that video was many of the white people were laughing. They were laughing at it. None of them said anything, right? You even had a part where you had what looks like, let me see, some Somalis right here. I don't know if these are Somalis or Pakistanis. I don't know. You even had that point where they didn't even say anything. It got to the point where there was a white woman that actually grabbed it really quick. She looked at disgusted. Let me play this again. I want you to really zero in on this.
eat you alive. Just like animals, animals, like animals most. Maybe you think that you can hide.
You see how fast she almost looked like she was irritated, and she grabbed it real fast and she tried to put it in her bag. So, the other white people would not notice, right? She looked irritated. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this video is because this is the racism that you don't know exists. Now, you will say, you would think in your mind, and it's natural to think that all white people are not racist, right? Because they're not blunt with the racism. But do you see how many people saw what was done and laughed and snickered and said nothing? Okay. Then you had one white woman that saw it and she hurried up, especially, she was under duress. She didn't, she took it so quick and tried to, stuff it away. She didn't even want the black man whose back it was on to know that she had took it off his back. When she didn't know she was being recorded. This is the reality of racism. This is the reality of racism. Do you understand what I'm saying? Many white people are very blunt with their racism, but the vast majority of them, they don't have a problem with racism. They snicker and they laugh at it. Then you have a very small minority who in history were the abolitionists. The people that fought, the white people that fought against slavery, they didn't think it was right. You have a small minority of white people that held hands with those people, black people, during the civil rights era. You have a small minority of white people that didn't like what they seen with George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner, Philando Castile. The list goes on and on. You have a very small minority. And this social experiment right here illustrated that very fact. That many of the people that you see, white people that you see, they may not be blatant racists and say, you know, black people is 13% like Charlie Kirk, right? They might not be that, right? But they don't have a problem with the racism. They would never stand up against the racism. They would never do what that white woman did right there is, you know, snatch it down and, you know, she snatched it down. Although it was very fast, you snatch it down and I can pick apart that whole little scene right there. She doesn't want, you know, she felt, the look on her face was a look of irritation and disgust. It's a very few white people that feel that way about racism and about the bigotry from, you know, white people in general and MAGA and all that. It's a very small thing. So I want you to understand that this social experiment is a reflection of real life right now. Now they're not blatantly racist, but they sure are not going to stand out and try to stop another white person from being racist towards you. So what does that make them? You know, I just thought that was good to bring out. You know, that's a good social experiment. And maybe I might do that. Maybe I might do that with some brothers. We might do that somewhere, you know, down in LA or Hollywood. See who reacts to that. Of course, it's a different crowd, but yeah, it's enough people we can do it in front of to get a reaction. All right. Now, this is the last story I'm going to bring out, and I want to talk a little bit about Southern Poverty Law Center, okay? Many of y'all done heard the story. You done seen the story. I'm going to play a video, but just briefly, Southern Poverty Law Center was created by attorneys in, I believe it was the 1970s, to fight racism, Ku Klux Klan groups, things of that nature. During the right after the civil rights movement. That's why the Southern Law Poverty Center was created, to focus on these and give reports of these groups to the FBI so that they can keep tabs on these hateful movements and these hateful groups. So let me play this video. All right, just bear with me. Appreciate brothers and sisters that's rocking with me. Black Authentic Truth.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of 1 person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations Affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front.
Good night. Good effing night. Now, the Southern Poverty Law Center, like I said, was created during the Civil Rights era to go against these groups and to report on these groups to the FBI, to keep tabs on these hateful groups. Now, they have come down with an indictment that says they were funding the Southern Poverty Law, the SPLC was funding these groups to incite racial violence. These are the same groups that they were supposed to be, dismantling and finding out more about them to report to the FBI to dismantle them. Now, many of y'all probably don't know. You don't know. Thawahgabar, myself, I'm an Israelite. I'm in the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hanna. I know this makes a lot of people angry because, people hate the Israelites, right? Now, this was in the 90s that the Southern Poverty Law Center said that the ISUPK was a hate group. We are on the list for being a hate group. Okay. Now, what I left out about the SPLC is that this organization is down south, right? And you could say that it's a Democratic organization or a left-leaning organization, which doesn't make any difference to me, right? But these are Black people that run this thing, Black and white people that run this thing, right? And they said those Israelites, they are a hate group, okay? They're likely to do something, like the Ku Klux Klan. Mind you this, as Hebrew Israelites, we have never burned a cross on a church. We have never unalived people or lynched white people for the color of their skin. We have never bombed a white church. We have done nothing near what the Ku Klux Klan does to Black people, to anyone, except say what the truth is out of the Bible. That's it. Our mere words. But we was labeled a hate group. Okay. Meanwhile, the same group that labeled us, Southern Poverty Law, that labeled us a hate group, it's coming out that they were funding the same hate groups that they were formed to dismantle. Now, the hypocrisy, you can cut with a knife. It's insane, the hypocrisy. Okay. That's crazy. And listen, this is what happens when you go against the grain and when you trying to do too much. Now, on the flip side, I understand that the Southern Poverty Law Center, I think it was like last October, Kash Patel, the FBI director, they cut ties with the Southern Poverty Law Center because I believe they were investigating people that had ties to the Trump administration. So representatives, let me make sure. I want to say this, and I'm going to read from Wikipedia. I'm going to say this correctly because I don't want to just give false information. It says, since the 2000s, the SPLC's classification and listings of hate groups and anti-government extremists have been widely relied upon by academic and media sources. The SPLC's listings have also been criticized by those who argue that some of the SPLC's listings are overbroad, politically motivated, or unwarranted. It says in October 2025, FBI Director Kash Patel cut the agency's ties with the SPLC after a push to do so from right-wing allies of the Republican President Donald Trump. So there's a lot of layers to this. Okay, so it's a lot of layers. This is an indictment. We don't know how this is going to end, but on the face value, it looks like the SPLC, was hypocrites, and what they were doing were trying to make a reason for their existence by funding these Ku Klux Klan organizations, Aryan Nation organizations, to fuel more racial violence. And so people can say, we need the SPLC. We need them because look, all of this stuff is still happening. Meanwhile, they're sending money and funds to these organizations to manufacture this stuff. Okay, let me read the comment. Ron Coleman, you know I am. You know I'm gonna bring it out. I got to bring it out, bro. So there's layers to this story, of course. But like I said, the first thing is the indictment. Secondly, we see that the Southern Poverty Law Center was looking at people were looking at allies that were supporting Donald Trump. So they say, listen, you can say that black people, Israelites and all that, and, you know, Black Panthers and all of that is this and that, and you can investigate them. There's no problem. But you want to investigate Donald Trump's allies? Maybe we need to do something about that because you can't be investigating us. So like I said, there's different layers. And so we'll just keep our eyes on this. But with that, y'all, man, I just want to say that I appreciate brothers and sisters. I appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me. Ron Coleman, always rocking with me. Christian rocking with me. Sister Barata Nawa, Renee Gaines, Shakad, Madana, Maparia. I mean, y'all always sliding and riding with your boy, and all the other brothers and sisters that maybe you don't comment, but you rock with me, you watch my content. I appreciate you. Appreciate you too. So I'm Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth, man. Make sure y'all tap in, man. I'll be trying to come with it, man. Tap in so you can get some good information. And with that, man, I'm up out of here. Peace. I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. All right. This is Black Authentic Truth.